Picture this: local greens produced without sunlight, without soil, and without pesticides, completely indoors, every day, right here in the city. It might sound like sci fi, but it's all real. And it all starts right here. Welcome to Factories of the Future. Today we're at Uns Farms located in the heart of Al Quoz in Dubai, where farming meets futuristic innovation. I'm Rachel Dawson, Senior Correspondent at Fast Company Middle East, and we're joined by Mehlam Murtaza, Executive Director at Uns Farms. Welcome, Mehlam.
Welcome to the farm.
Where does it all begin?
So it begins exactly where we're standing. You can say our production is broken down into 5 segments. Firstly, we are starting with the seeding and the media preparation. Then it goes into our germination. Then it goes into the nursery. Then it goes to the main production. And at the end of it all, we enjoy the fruits of our labor, which is the harvesting.
So do you want to take us on a quick tour of your vertical farm?
Sure. So as I said, the whole process begins over here with the seed preparation and seeding. Then it goes into our dark phase germination, as you see over here. That's where it goes into a simulation like it's underground in the soil. So in this dark phase is where the root first begins to develop, the seed starts to sprout outside, and it's kind of the first stage of the growing process when the plant actually develops.
And is it standard for all seed types or the waiting period?
So again, depending on our variety of plants, it's taking between 1 to 3 days for the seed to sprout and for us to transport it into our nursery area over here. This is the stage 3 of the production. This is where we have our nursery, and we also combine it with our herb production area. So taking it more closer look to the sprouted plants over here, you can see that we are also growing this variety in a hydroponic media. So there's no usage of soil for these plants in particular, but you also have a lot of varieties like what you see behind you, which is growing in potted soil, because that is the best solution for that plant. We do have a huge array of sensors which actually monitors 16 different variables of the growing process. You know, that goes from the normal things such as the air temperature, the humidity, to things more specialized such as the CO2 level in the air, the oxygen level in the water itself, and these kind of different parameters all have an effect on the plant. But because we're an indoor farm and we have almost 100% total control on the environmental factors, we actually have a very, very accurate forecasting method. And most of the time, you can say that the plant grows as expected and as per the forecast. So now we enter our 4th phase of the production, which is actually broken up into 4 different growing zones. So where we are right now is the herb production area. Okay. So as I said, we do everything from the simple mint to the very, very high-end chocolate mint and lemon balm and any kind of exotic varieties, to be honest.
Oh wow, that's an explosion of flavors.
It's the real taste, you can say, freshly picked from the farm.
That's lovely.
In terms of our farm, we do about 25 different varieties of herbs.
Okay.
Again, herbs are better suited to grow in soil because they have a much longer life on the production stage. So they need more area to develop for the roots and for the different kind of root structure, you can say. So now we come into our 2nd production area,
okay,
which is our largest facility and the main hydroponic farm. We grow 1 ton of salads in the farm here on a daily basis.
Right.
And what we do is that we don't just grow a bag of lettuce. We mix in special kind of herbs from things of your spicy varieties. We do some of the superfoods like your kale, but in a baby form, so it's a lot more edible and a lot more intense in the flavor. And even things such as beet leaves. So this gives a natural flavor of beet, but without being the actual vegetable. So we like to mix in a unique variety of flavors and make the salads interesting and fun to enjoy.
Right.
What we grow over here is with completely hydroponic process. So as you can see, unlike the other kind of crops we are growing, this is growing actually in water. So the water is very nutrient rich. We work with a special computer system which manages a certain intensity of the nutrients and the acidity of the water. All of
Okay.
this is kind of a simulation of soil and gives the same effect of soil in terms of the macro and micronutrients.
Right. And in terms of area, how big is this farm?
So actually, we are one of the biggest farms in the world. So we actually have a total production area of more than 7,000 square meters in a footprint which is 1/3 in terms of the land area. So we're extremely space saving and we're extremely sustainable as well.
So I'm very curious to know, how do you mimic air in the natural environment?
So as I said, we grow according to 16 different kind of variables to mimic the natural environment. And one of them, which is very important for the plant, is the air movement. So air movement actually helps the process of respiration in the plant. So the plant is, of course, in a way, in a layman's term, is sweating. So the air helps to remove all that vapor from the leaf of the plant and gives it extra room for the photosynthesis process to happen.
All of this is lettuce?
Exactly. So we actually grow 4 varieties of lettuce, from which 2 are proprietary to our company only. So what you see over here is actually our Unsberg lettuce.
Oh, okay.
So it's got the crunch of an iceberg, but the frilly shape of Lolo Bionda, for example. It is both crunchy, sweeter, and in my opinion, some of the best lettuce you might try in your life.
Why a dedicated space to microgreens?
So what's actually started as a very small project became a very integral part of our operations. Uns Farm is actually the largest microgreen producer in the Middle East. We grow more than 35 types of microcress, both in a cut version and in a living pot, based on the chef's desire and the freshness requirement. Now that we've explored a little bit of the microgreen farm, let me take you to our final production zone for the edible flowers. Let's have a look.
We're surrounded by so many different colors, and the aroma here also is so strong.
Thank you.
I have to ask, what are the demands of flowering plants?
If you'll notice, this location is much smaller than the other ones, and the temperature is a lot cooler here. We actually maintain a climate between 15 to 18 degrees for edible flowers. That's because edible flowers are mainly found in valleys or cooler climates. Well, that's where they flourish the best. So what we try to do is kind of simulate that climate, make sure it's a nice island climate, nice and cool. We have a special kind of lighting here as well, which is simulating a sunrise, midday, and sunset, just to give the plants a longer kind of daylight cycle. And that all ends up making the plant basically more happier. And when the flowers are happy, they bloom more, as you can see. We're here at the grand finale, and you can say the final point in the entire production process. So we went through the seeding, the germination, the nursery, and production. And finally, we are harvesting the fruits of our labor, no pun intended. So what you see here is the final stages where we do our intense quality check. We check each and every punnet. We make sure that they're free from any kind of issues or damages, and we make sure the customer receives as clean of a product as possible.
In a world facing climate challenges, urban growth, and water scarcity, vertical farms like this one offer a powerful solution.
Zero 0514 001.
And we're joined by Mehlam Murtaza, who's Executive Director at Uns Farm.
Shall we take it again? I'm sorry, they're like, she's tired, I get it.
Give us a lowdown of the final step.
Low down? Really? Okay. That would be a nice end clip. I just like flick it and it like covers the camera.